Hello, my loves. Welcome to Rosie Doll Official's YouTube channel. Today is going to be talking about friendship and values. So, let's start off with friendship. What makes you a good friend? That is a question you ask yourself. That is a question you look for in how you want to identify your friendships, how you want to identify yourself as a friend for someone else. There is certain factors that make you a friend and make you family. Now, in the world, you will see so many different characteristics, so many different types of people, so many different types of friends and friend groups that you want to avoid. Now, I wish I knew sooner to keep a small circle and to not befriend everybody and to not show love to an extent of giving too much of myself when in return all they were sucking the energy from me because I just kept on giving and they knew that I just kept on giving. Now, this is an example. There's so many different factors that can play into friendships and can play into how a person is perceived and how a person is really understood. But what needs to start is with yourself. You need to start with building yourself. What are you going to allow? What are you going to say, I don't want this in my life? What are you going to say, I've had enough? Or this just doesn't align with how my life is, how I want it to be. And that is okay. We as a society have established a role for, generations to come that, keep your enemies closer, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Now, I rebuked that quote because no, you don't want any person that has any negative intention towards you around you. You don't need it. It doesn't help you, and we're just going to debunk that completely. Knock that off the list. Okay, and secondly, we are going to have how you see a best friend and how you see a friend. Now, a best friend is someone you can really trust, and time will tell through trials, through uncertainty, through trust and loyalty. But what makes a friend a friend? The only thing that makes a friend for you should ever be loyalty if it is good and of good intention. So whether you are an unhealthy person and they can't be loyal to you no more because what you did was against their values, that is up to them to make. That is up to you to make. Are you to judge them for cutting you off? No. Are you to learn from that? Yes. Both is to learn from that. And it's okay to just not mix with a certain person or a certain type of person. It's okay to say, hey, I just am not looking for a friend right now. Thank you for my experience. Thank you for what you've shown me and what I can learn from this. And acknowledge that you are not perfect either. They are not perfect either. We are all human. We all make mistakes. Now, communication is a big factor as well. If they can't communicate, I wouldn't say cut them off unless it goes with the right path for your life. If you're like, hey, the way this is affecting me, it is affecting me so negatively that, or even negatively at all, then it is best that, you try to understand them through talking to them first and saying, hey, this is the problem. I would like to address you with this. And it is not always where you can say, okay, fine, like I understand completely, okay, we're friends again. There is some times when the person you cut off for the rest of your life. Now, are you going to learn your lesson, or are you going to go back? Are you going to go back to the people who hurt you? Are you going to go back to the person who manipulated you? Are you going to go back to the person who made you feel bad about yourself, or made a stupid comment or a stupid joke that just wasn't healthy as a friend? Because no friends should even make comments about you that affect you mentally, physically, or spiritually. And that is because you should be feeling peace. If your friend group doesn't bring peace to your life, if you are stressing, if there's drama, if there is a place of uncertainty of how their real intention is, then I recommend, as a big sister, cut them off. You don't need anybody. But what you need is a support system. What you need is to find the right people who is willing to show that unconditional love and also be healthy. Because you can love a person as a friend, as a partner, as family, but if they don't match with your values for your life, if they aren't healthy, if they aren't willing to change, if they aren't actively working on themselves to change, if they aren't, being a support net or being there for you to even just communicate, to talk, if they aren't able to, if there's more negative than there is positive of the situation, then you already know the answer of what to do. You back away, you regroup from that space, you stay in your own space for a while, and you realize, is this what is right for me? Is this what could benefit my life, could make me feel like I am satisfied with my connections, with my friendships? And if you have things that are affecting you either physically or mentally, please, I recommend therapy. It is not bad. It is not anything wrong with you. It is what a lot of people resort to because it is the most healthiest way to express how you feel, to express what you can't even explain to yourself or to anybody else. They also help with how you see the world, your perspective. If you go on a spiritual route, I recommend first recentering yourself with understanding what you went through, whether it's trauma, whether it is, people who has hurt your self-image, whether it is people who are harassing you or people who are saying that they are your friend or they are your family, but behind your back they're the opposite, they are your enemy, or behind your back there is nothing positive they are saying, or behind your back you're not reciprocating through other people's energy of the people they surround themselves with, of how they treat you now, then I recommend cutting them off. And I think everybody should get a therapist. I think everybody should get help. And I recommend BetterHelp. It is not sponsored, it is not even there, but it is on Google, it is on any platform you search, Safari, Fox, you name it, it's there. Firefox. But we're gonna get to values now. So, how do you determine your values? How you determine your values is how you accept what you want to surround yourself with and how you want to act, how you want to talk, how you want to be available to show up to events, to school, to home, to anything. But when you are finding your values, it is not always something you're born with, raised with. Sometimes you have to create those values yourself and do research to find the values that you want to have and you want to hold and you want to be a part of your life and that you choose. Because choice is the most powerful thing that us as humans have. And in every situation, there is a choice. There is good and bad. And when people say, yeah, this, but this, like this happened because this, if it's an excuse, I would recommend looking at it and, we all have our intuition, and our intuition never lies. So make sure that you practice with intention of understanding your intuition and listening to your intuition. With values, it could be religiously, it could be spiritually, it could be with actions, with how you interact, and that is up to you to decide. There will be more content on a lot of more details. We as a society need to change our outlook on life and our perspective, because we always have a choice. We always have a choice of who we want to be, what we want to be, and where we want to be. And we aren't taught in school everything. We are only taught how to work. In school, we are only taught how to work, and we are only taught how to understand subjects, how to understand our language, other languages, how to understand art, how to bring things to where it is created. And whatever resonates with you, please take this information and, put it to your perspective, put it to your situation. And there is a lot of advice, but the biggest advice is to always do good, to always be good, to always try to change and get better. Because you are not perfect, but you could be so close to it, but so far away, because you're not understanding and you're not seeing in a different perspective. So I hope this helps. This is a little bit of the top of the iceberg, I know. Once I fully understand more and can be a great influence through explaining, through directing, I will love to share it to you guys and to help you guys out, to let you feel comfortable enough to open up and to, ask questions if you have any questions or you don't understand a certain part of this video. Please make a comment. Please reach out and say, hey, like whatever, and I will get back to you as soon as I can whenever I am available. Now, if you are interested in fashion, please check out my Instagram at loversofschmidt.official. That is my official couture brand for my natural fabric and also for my luxury fabric. My main account is Haute Couture Original. That is where I do my model scouting. That is where I book my photo shoots, where I book my events, and where I book my artist collabs. There is more to come, and please come along with me for the ride and learn from my mistakes so that you guys don't have to. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.